Big Blues Man here, also known as Big Wayne, broadcasting here from my tiny shop and my in the middle of becoming my dream shop. A building that was originally unfinished uh, garage that was um, supposed to be a garage, but then they never finished it. Before this was previous to me buying the property, and the structure was basically turned into a carport, and they poured the concrete uh, so that the water would run down off of the concrete down into the because we're on a hill, so it would wash out. So there's actually about a 5-inch difference from one end of the shop to the other. So I've been struggling with that for a long time, and I have built the structure myself slowly. I struggle with time and being overweight and having a spinal injury, so I struggled to get it finished. But uh, 4 years in the making here of converting this into a finished garage um, or shop, because it's not quite a garage. It is a very odd shaped structure that is probably was built from cutoffs, and it is an amazing 19 by 17. So very weird numbers for the structure. Nonetheless, I got a great deal on some huge windows. I got dual pane, solid core doors, window doors that I added wood to make the doors in the front of my shop slide like a barn on the outside. And so I added wood, making them be 4 foot by 8 foot. Pretty happy with that, but unfortunately, the stain I used on the front side of my doors, the clear coat that I put on there was not UV, and I shouldn't have probably done that at all. But anyways, I'm gonna have to re-sand it, redo it, restain it, and um, anyways, uh, I moved into my shop before the walls were even finished, and slowly been building the structure on the exterior so that it looks nice and is sealed and done properly. But the interior is slowly coming to a finished, to a completion. Um, but I've been working uh, every day, just about, in my shop for the past uh, 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and this last year was a heavy festival season, art season, where I was creating nonstop all week long, doing other jobs in between, and gosh, my shop has been a wreck, and I have this beautiful shop vac dust collector, but I got to redo the electrical for it, and because it keeps popping a fuse breaker, and it's taking up valuable real estate, as well as my air compressor. Both items I purchased with the uh, decibel of the loudness rating as a priority first, and then its function second, because I don't want to listen to it, especially since it was in my shop. So I'm going to build a little building on the outside that is soundproof with a vibration-proof flooring, and move those suckers out and get me some valuable wall space, literally about 5 feet of wall space. When I was buying some of my tools, I was buying on want and desire and need, and not really paying attention to my space. Who's guilty of that? Uh, and so I currently am struggling between my saw stop with all the bells and whistles and my beautiful 8-inch joiner and trying to finagle my shop where I can work around it. And then the next thing is my CNC machine that needs to be put together. Long story, but that's been purchased 2.5 years ago, I think. Maybe 3? No, 2. So that's a sore subject. And additional sore subject was I hired people to help me add on to the back of my shop another little building that was going to house the air compressor, dust collection, and CNC machine, build a quiet room so I wouldn't have to hear it, and add an area where I could do some spray painting and lacquering and stuff like that just outside my shop where I walk through a passway, little breezeway, and basically the guys screwed up on the foundation of my decking, which I was going to finish the decking portion myself. So now I get to finish all of it with twisted wood because they unstacked my $10,000 worth of lumber and left it all a wreck. So, long story. Sorry. Uh, so that's on hold. And I need to make use with what I got right now. So I have a little bit of a break between jobs and projects and festivals and art shows, which is closing in on me fast. Um, the other problem I have is organization. I don't even want to show you my shop because I'm embarrassed. So um, I had just an aggressive season last year of making and producing, and that caused some compounded issues. One, my dust collector breaker popping, so I didn't have it. So I had dust going up all over everything. And I just had to get stuff done. I couldn't deal. I literally didn't have any time to deal with the situation, even though the solution would be faster than cleaning out all the sawdust, which I did about 4 times this last year. Um, and anyway, so um, pretty much lived in here with a dust mask and breathing system for me so that I wouldn't be inhaling all of that dust. So I've got it mostly cleaned out now of sawdust, and I have things that I've purchased over the year that were for projects and custom orders, and those items need a place to go. And this wall behind me, this is my miter station. I built a beautiful floating miter station and I stained it beautifully. It's covered in sawdust, so you can't even tell that it's beautifully done. And I built a floating miter station, 16 feet, okay, 18 feet, uh, almost the full length of the long side of my shop, and it's beautiful. And I use my miter saw here, my Bosch Slide Doctor, whatever it's called, sliding compound bevel miter, and I love it, love it. Okay, I built this floating because my shop is small and I have some big machines, a lathe and a sander and a yeah, so some other things. So my ingenious idea was to put everything on hydraulic carts so that they could live underneath the floating miter station. And when I need them, I can pull them out and I can raise them to whatever height I want to work at. Ingenious. I love it. I know. You're welcome. Great. It was great. It is still great. And I put all my dust collection down underneath my floating miter. So I have hoses going out to all the equipment when I pull them out. But I never quite finished that because I needed to use it. So I need to work on that. The main thing is there's swivels on the carts. I need to cut the swivels off and basically make it pull out like a drawer. I'll still have swivels on it, but I have to make it where I can lock them straight. Anyway, so that's one of the projects that I got to do really quick here. The other is I've been sitting here thinking, how in the heck can I organize all my crap? Stuff that's important to have in the shop. I do have tool sheds. I do have sheds where I put other stuff, but this is stuff I need close to me. I need, stains and lacquers and, tools I use occasionally, and, my wood supplies and, you know, consumables and all of that. And um, there's this setup that I've seen from a couple guys. It's kind of like what they use in a uh, storage system for filing, where it's like a whole series of cabinets that stack up, or bookcases that stack up, and then you turn a knob and it slides them all compacted up against each other, and where you have access to one. I love the idea of that. I can't afford it, but I also don't like that I can't just access whichever one I want when I want. And basically, you can only have one uh, access to. So, um, what I'm decided to do is, forgive, no judging here, as I flip the camera around. This wall right here. Now, when I designed my shop, I was thinking more about what I want to see out, because I don't like being boxed in. So I put in great big windows, 8-foot windows, 8-foot sections of doors that fold open, doors that slide open, another 9-foot section of windows. And you know what I did? Because I'm not going to show you everything. I don't really want to put everything out there. But what I did was I I used up all my wall space. And I don't want to redo it because I already did the exterior to my shop with, I've got, everything's sealed. The building is sealed properly, and I've got a beautiful insulated roof. And uh, thanks to my late friend who donated the roof to me. And so I decided, see, even back here, see all of these consumables up here? I don't really want that here. This wall was intended to be vacant when I built this. And I lined the wall with melamine and waxed the wall so that I could easily clean the sawdust from the miter station off the wall. And I like things bright and clear and all that. So on here, I've decided I'm going to use up my last real available wall. All of these things in the way, this clutter, I'm going to build a series of cabinets all the way up to basically right here. Okay, that is 8 feet up right here. Okay, so from here to there. From there to there is 8 feet. So, and from the window to here to this beam is 9 feet. I'm going to move the kiln over to my series of doors, and I'm going to make, I figured out I can make easily 6 8-foot tall, basically like bookcases, in a closet here, going across here, leaving the very top up here for wood storage, and a series of tracks that come out this way inside of the closet, that each bookcase or cabinet is connected to, and slide out on wheels, non-swivel wheels, with the track keeping it from falling over, because it'll be top heavy. And then I believe measuring wise, I can easily put 6 across here that will hold roughly 30 totes. Okay, and I'm going to make the totes. I don't want to see the totes where they just slide in like this, and also I don't want to see them. So I'm gonna make them slide in this way into the cabinet, and wherever I have a tote, which is an easy thing to replace, I can also put a shelf in the same slot that the tote fits into. This is my theory. And then the front of this, I'm thinking I will use walnut veneered plywood that is made for doing cabinets. And I'm going to take that walnut. So I'm going to build all of these cabinets and mechanism to slide them out. Then I'm going to face it with walnut, and I'm going to router out the walnut a river of cobalt blue resin, like I do for my tables. But I'm going to cheat. It's not going to be thick of resin. It's going to be a thin layer of resin, but I believe it'll be really attractive, and which is what I want. This whole shop is going to be eventually as clean as a kitchen. That's my goal. But little sections at a time as I can afford it and as I have time to do it. And I've struggled with this. I've decided that the thing I need to do first is put all this stuff someplace that's in my way. So I'm going to buy the totes, to fill the totes. I'm going to organize later. Yes, it's going to be a catch-all, but it'll be a catch-all inside of a tote. Those totes will fit inside of the shelving unit. I can put a crap load of stuff in there, literally, and organize the heck later, but get everything cleared up so that I can maneuver my equipment. The other thing I'm going to do is put a channel in my shop floor and elevate it level, roughly half of the shop. I think is all I'm going to deal with at the moment. I think I'm doing this. It might be summer, but down in the concrete, I'm going to put dust collection, air, a pipe for any kind of audio, smart control, whatever I can think of in the future. I'm going to have a pipe in the ground for that, and I think I'll even have a water pipe if I choose to use it. But it'll have electrical, dust collection, and air for sure down there to the middle of my shop, so that my saw stop and my joiner can be fed dust collection from below, so that I don't have any hoses hanging around, because currently I extend a hose to it when I want to use it, and it's a trip hazard, and I trip on stuff, so I need to get that cleared up. And then I can focus on redoing everything back here. And one of the things I want to do that I think would be really cool and slick is putting my my planer. I have a small planer. I wish I had a bigger one, but nonetheless, I have one. So I'm happy I have one. So I'm thinking about putting it on like a lazy Susan, because when you run stuff through the planer, then you have to pick it up and take it to the other side and run it through again until you get it where you want. And if I just had it on a lazy Susan where I could turn it back and forth, and I had enough room for the wood to go through it, then turn it, and go back through it, and then turn it and go back through it, back and forth, back and forth. It will save me lifting it up and moving it. And I just thought, what an ingenious idea. So I'm going to do that. And then the other thing is I started putting layers on top of my miter station because I keep putting stuff in the way. I have a bad habit of, when I'm working, taking something out and not putting it back. I inherited that from my father. And all of the years of me having to clean up the shop, you would think I would have broken that sin, but No, no. Now that's just me. Guilty. So, anyways, I put it right on top of this beautiful miter station because I'm limited on flat surfaces to put it. But all the flat surfaces in my shop have something on it. Okay. All right. Anyway, no judging. Um, I put a layer so that I could put all that crap on top and still have the bottom available, which it 90% is currently. There's still some stuff on it, but the lower level, which is 8 inches from the next layer, is 8 inches above. So I can put all the stuff on that 8 inch above table and still have clear 8 inches below where the miter station is. So I always have room to cut stuff. I love that idea. So I'm probably going to put layers. This is just what I'm thinking. Layers above my miter station for keeping the miter station open. And then also I decided I want to put boards that come out or tables that come out so that I have that for when I need extra surface. Anyways, battery's about to die. I hope I'm still recording. I'll be back.